Alas, regardless of their doom, the little victims play. No sense they have of ills to come, nor cares beyond today. That was Ode on a Distant Prospect of Eton College by Thomas Gray from 1747. In case you were wondering, Thomas Gray actually coined the phrase, ignorance is bliss. And in this case, I would have to say no. So to sum up this video at the start, like all great YouTube videos do, just don't go into Project Zomboid blind. Just look up a guide, figure out the weird mechanics that are happening that aren't completely ironed out yet. Because if you go in there like an idiot like I did, trying to go blind, trying to figure out the mechanics, there's so many weird mechanics that aren't finished yet that it's gonna trip you up. And you're not gonna have a good time. Gonna play some Project Zomboid. I'm gonna talk about it for a bit. Now, why are we starting a new character? Well, we're starting a new character because my old character died horribly. And kind of reminded me that, yes, we're starting out in Rosewood. This is a town that I have spent a long time clearing out. Well, in any case, there's an issue where my character died due to burnt food. It's kind of a trap to go into Zomboid thinking that this is a game that you can play out and sort of figure out with the idea of, oh, well, don't worry, this whole situation is something that you can totally figure it out as you play. I did that with games like Don't Starve and many other survival games, which are permadeath. And those are finished games. And I think the whole issue is that it's a little bit more of a, it's more of a thing where a finished game, you will be able to do that. With Project Zomboid, no, you won't be able to do that. Because I got pretty far trying to go in, no spoilers, no hints, trying to do the game and be like, I'm going to do this game, and I'm going to figure out everything myself, and, obviously, you'll learn certain things very quickly. But the whole burnt food thing, I had figured out most of the other systems. Now, the burnt food thing is definitely a game mechanic thing. Now, obviously, they want burnt food to be negative, because once burnt food becomes burnt, it technically doesn't rot anymore. And therefore, game exploiters could probably be like, oh, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a million things of burnt food, and that way, when you get in the game, well, guess what? No, you're not going to have any issues anymore, because the burnt food is pretty much going to be, like, immortal. It'll never rot, so you just burn all your food, and then you'll have, like, enough food to last you forever. The only problem is there's not really any game indication that burnt food can easily kill you if you eat a lot of it. And it's if you don't know this going in, then you're going to end up making soups and stews that have like a million different ingredients. And when you burn it, most of the stats are still actually really positive. And I didn't know this, and my character was also recovering from like a car wreck. And so I just drank 2 things of burnt food, which is really stupid, because I'm literally living in a house in the game where I have like the entire place filled with food. Filled absolutely to the brim with food. And there was no reason for me to, eat that burnt food at all. Like, zero reason at all. But I did, because, you just get in that mindset of, okay, it's got like a tiny negative boredom thing. It had like -5 boredom. And that was it. And so I was like, okay, well, it's obviously not that bad because, hey, only -5 boredom. That's hardly anything bad at all. That's just the way the game mechanics are. So my idea of going into this game completely blind and just learning all the basic stuffs, like there's so many little niggling things in there that it's going to end up completely screwing you. So you can't really treat this like a fully released game. It's such a fun game with fun systems, but you can't delude yourself into thinking that this is a finished game, because it is just not. All I can say is that with games like Don't Starve, you can definitely like figure stuff out. And I was very proud I never looked up anything for that game. And I just kind of figured out all the systems, and I had a lot of fun figuring everything out. And I did fail a couple times, but whenever I failed in that game, I really felt it was always my fault. In this game, the whole like drinking a couple things of burnt food when your health wasn't really that great, I feel like the whole dying of burnt food thing, man, it's just like, you almost don't want to deal with a game like this until it's finished. Because I guarantee you, a lot of this like playtest stuff, a lot of this early access stuff, it's really aimed at a certain category of players. And those players are super hardcore, and they want this incredibly difficult setup for this game. And unfortunately, a lot of what they do is nonsensical. If you look at any of those videos, which I did after I died, all those people play this game in the exact same manner. And I am really looking forward to the finished version of Build 42, and I think I'll jump back into the game when that is released. But right now, just no. I don't really want to play this game if like there's these weird systems that are in place that'll completely screw me over, and I just don't, there's no like indication that that would be the case. And again, I was well along in this game, but there are things in place that will just absolutely completely screw you over. And if I would have went into this game and I would have looked stuff up, I would have known that, and I would have known what to look for. And the real rub of it is you would have never run into that situation in the early game. Because in the early game, if you burn anything, it's going to have so many negative things to the burnt food that you would never think of like actually eating it. But only when you get to this point where you have so much food and you can make so many amazing things that even if you burn it, it still looks like high quality food, then you're going to run into trouble. So again, I guess just don't assume Project Zomboid is a finished game, because it's not. Again, I have started to watch people play the game now. The weirdness of Build 41 and everything like that, it's a great game, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Build 42, and eventually, hopefully, this game will get finished, and we'll see some sort of finished product. But, yeah, dude, I mean, it just seems like these earlier builds are really catering towards a specific audience. And, you know, I'm just not in the mood to play a game where you really do have to look up everything before you play it. Because just naturally figuring out all this stuff just doesn't seem to be possible, you know? Anywho, that's just me. It's a really fun game. I would suggest when you start a game, also, too, the settings of, like, the regular sandbox game, like, you automatically start off in, like, the worst starting area. Yeah, just start out in Rosewood or Riverside or just one of the smaller places. You know, look up some just general tips and stuff and watch some videos. Because going into the game blind just really isn't, like, super fun or anything. And, yeah. All right, that's all.